Good day everyone, my name is Grisine Soriano and I am the first presenter and I'm going to talk about the introduction of assessing mandated programs. So, micro, small, and medium enterprises or the MSME is the lifeblood of most economies. A vibrant MSME sector is essential in spreading the economy's wealth and income flows, creating more opportunities in the countryside, maintaining social stability, and fostering inclusive economic growth. And many governments in developing Asia have designed medium and long-term MSME development plans because the purpose of this or the main goal is to improve the financing for MSME. And also in the Philippines, one of the most important inclusive financing policies is the Mandated Credit Program or known as the MSME Magna Carta. It also to improve the financial access to MSMEs, which can lead the account in total firms and to 99.6% and 61% total employment in the Philippines. The overarching objective of the Magna Carta legislation was to promote, support, strengthen, and encourage the growth and development of MSME in all productive sectors of the economy, particularly rural and agri-based enterprises. Background of the study. This study seeks to assess the compliance of banks with the provision of the Magna Carta and evaluate the impact of these mandated credit programs on MSME. MSME by analyzing data on aggregate lending, direct compliance, and bank-level statistics. The study aims to offer valuable insight into the impact of mandated credit programs on MSME and suggests policy direction for future enhancement by Nornini et al. 2015. The main challenges highlighted in the case study of the Magna Carta in the Philippines revolve around the assessment of mandated credit programs under rule and promoting financial inclusion. So, the Magna Carta mandated banks to allot a certain portion, like 10% of their loan portfolio to MSMEs. Although not explicitly mentioned, there are at least three good reasons why the regulation specifically targeted banks. Firstly, banks hold the biggest stack of the financial resources in the economy, amounting to over three-quarters of the domestic financial resources. Secondly, banks do have the most extensive networks of offices among credit intermediaries. And lastly, banks are easier to monitor since they regularly report their activities to the central bank.
Good day everyone, and especially to you ma'am. I'm Bersily Manson, I'll be the next reporter. So now, I'll be going to discuss issues about this study and how to address it. There's three issues, and number one is the impact on small and medium enterprises, meaning many small and medium businesses are struggle to get loans from banks, even though the law says they should. They struggle because nga, ipapangitaan pa sila ang mga credit history, ilang mga income like that, and they have also strict requirements before sila makaloan. And second is allocation of credit by banks. Instead of lending money to small businesses like they're supposed to, but katong mga bangko is mas gipili nila na magpa-loan dito sa mga big companies kaysa sa mga small businesses, and that's why small businesses miss out on the help they need. The last one is overall effectiveness of the program. Some people are wondering if ang Magna Carta law ba is it really helping small businesses, if ang mga small business ba if they can get the support they need. So, and there is three factors to play to understand why these problems are happening. First is economic conditions. Second is lending practices. Third is regulatory environment. When we say economic conditions is the economy is experiencing a downturn. That's why making banks even more cautious about lending. So that's why mas careful pa sila kung kinsang ilahang ginapaloan. So the lending practices are also the banks have their own rules about who they lend the money and why. For example, some banks is mas ginapili nila tong magpaloan sila sa mga big businesses that has a lot of assets kaysa atong while other banks is focused more on helping small businesses. The last one is regulatory requirements. Regulatory environment banks is mauna ang itong mga bangko na di sila nag-follow sa mga rules because nga wala kayo sila mga consequence na ginaharap. So to address that issues is dapat gina-monitor nila kung ang bangko ba is nag-follow sa rules, dapat masabta nila kung ano sa ka-importante ang mga small businesses, dapat mas strict pa sila o law sa mga bangko. Then, the conclusion of the study. The Magna Carta law in the Philippines require banks to lend a certain percentage of their money to medium, micro, and small businesses. This studies shows that while banks have increased their lending over all the businesses, the proportion of loans given to them compared is other borrowers has decreased over time. There's also been a rise in banks not following the rules properly, especially after the targets for loans were raised in 2008. Additionally, different banks have different habits in lending money, with some lending less to small businesses than others. Despite these challenges, getting rid of the Magna Carta laws targets for medium businesses is unlikely to cause big problems. So, these studies help us to understand how will these laws work and how they affect small and medium businesses in
The proposed solution and intervention in the case study assessing mandated programs under the Magna Carta in the Philippines aims to address challenges in providing access to credit for small, medium enterprises or SMSE. Here are the breakdowns or example on how they were implemented. Enhancing financial literacy. Recognize the importance of financial literacy in managing credit effectively. Initiatives were undertaken to educate SME owners on financial management, budgeting, loan payment, and other relevant topics.
So I am Ronaldin Pitati Machine, so I will be the next reporter of the analyzing the actions taken of what were the decision-making process involved in choosing this action, were there alternative approach considered. So the decision-making process for implementing mandated credit programs like the Magna Carta in the Philippines likely involve considering various alternative approach. This call include assessing different models of credit provision such as microfinance institution, cooperative or government lending, and additionally policymakers may have evaluated the potential impacts of direct subsidies. So the feasibility of collateral requirements and the effectiveness of capacity building initiative for beneficiaries. Alternative approach may have been compared on criteria such as cost effectiveness, scalability, and sustainability alignment with border development goals.
Good day, everyone. I am Larika Manlangit, and I will be the next reporter. So today, I will be talking about the result or outcomes of the implemented solutions, or did they achieve the desired goals. So, the outcomes of the implemented solutions is nagpakita siya mga positive result towards achieving the desired goals. So, it helps to increase or enhance credit accessibility. So, this has enabled MMS to expand their operations, invest in good opportunities, and enhance their competitiveness. So, it also encouraged entrepreneurship. So, this has encouraged the establishment of new ventures, job creations, and economic growth at the grassroots levels. The third is it also enhanced collaboration. So this partnership have facilitated knowledge sharing, technology transfer, and market access for MSMS. So it also helps to enhance policy implementation. So by enforcing compliance and ensuring the implementation of supportive policies, the initiative has have contributed to a more conducive environment for MSMS to thrive.
Good day, everyone. I will be the next reporter. Evaluating the outcome. The Magna Carta in the Philippines is the law that mandated banks to allocate a certain percentage of her total loan portfolios to medium-sized firms and micro and small business. Other possible unintended consequence is the distribution of credit, allocation, and the economy. Ang Magna Carta sa Pilipinas ay mahalaga upang matukoy kung papaano ito nakakaapekto sa lipunan at sa mga batas. Ang mga resulta ng Magna Carta ay karaniwang isinusukat sa pamamagitan ng pagbabago sa batas. Maaaring nagdudulot ng hindi inaasahang epekto ang anumang batas na katiyakan pagbabago sa lipunan o pag-aabuso.
Good day everyone, I am Rochelle Ausan. I will be the next reporter. Learning and application. What are the key takeaways from this case study? Are there generalizable lessons or principles? So here are the three key takeaways from this case study. So first is systematic approach. It is important to approach the case study in a structured and logical manner, starting with understanding the situation and then identifying key issues before proposing potential solutions. So the second is critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to think critically and analyze the information presented in the case study is essential for drawing meaningful conclusions and recommendations. So the last is communication skills. Clear and concise communication is necessary when presenting the findings of a case study, both in written and verbal form. These skills and principles can be applied to various case study and real-world situations. What were the limitations of the actions taken or the case study itself? Can the findings be applied to other situations? So, some common limitations could include the lack of real-time data, which may affect the accuracy of conclusions drawn. The findings of the case study may not be directly applicable to other situations due to the specific circumstances and variables involved.
So, hi everyone, my name is Regine Marcos and I'll be the last reporter to report this topic. So, the question is, what were the limitations of the action taken or the case study itself? Can the finding be applied to other situations? So, ang answer is
Maaaring kabilang sa ilang karaniwang limitasyon ang kakulangan ng real-time na data na maaaring makaapekto sa katumpakan ng mga konklusyong ginawa. Ang mga natuklasan ng case study ay maaaring hindi direktang naangkop sa ibang mga sitwasyon dahil sa particular na mga pangyayari at mga variable na kasangkot. And here, the question number 2. If applicable, what recommendation can be made based on the analysis? Are there alternative solutions that could be considered? So, here the answer. Ang mga rekomendasyon ay maaring gawin batay sa pagsusuri ay micro, small, and medium enterprises or MSMES. May mga alternatibong solusyon na maaari isaalang-alang muna. Hawak ng mga bangko ang pinakamalaking stock ng mga pagkukunang pinansyal. Pangalawa, ang mga bangko ay may pinakamalawak na network ng mga tanggapan sa mga tagapamagitan ng kredito. Panghuli, mas madaling masubaybayan ang mga bangko dahil regular nilang iniuulat ang kanilang mga aktibidad sa Bangko Sentral. And that's all. Thank you.